down. We the talk around town. Alex threw the ball to Smokey for a touchdown. Ha. It's fourth down and you don't really want no more. We've been winning from the door. You should check the scoreboard. Ha. Check the scoreboard.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard, and for the final time, it's XFL time. In 2023, we have the championship game ahead of us. Had a week's break, kind of that Pro Bowl feel, though the honor ceremony and kind of underwhelming in more ways than one. We'll talk about that real quick as well. With Smokey, how are you doing?
I'm good. I am better than Houston Roughnecks fans because they thought they were a deadlock for being in this championship game. However, they're not, because I predicted that the Renegades would finally get that win over the Roughnecks, and they did. So here we are. People are really mad about this. They are really mad that a 4-6 team is going into the championship game. Hopefully, the defenders will do it justice, and they're going to win this thing. But we'll break it down in a minute. But yeah, people are not happy.
Yeah, I can see why, but see, in spring leagues, this few amount of teams, everything can happen. Those types of things are bound to happen in a league like that. Mm-hmm. So it only takes one game, like you said. How does that affect our XFL predictions, though, our standings?
Well, we actually disagreed on that game. You picked the Roughnecks, and I picked the Renegades, and we both picked the DC Defenders. That gave me 2 points. You got 1 point. We are now actually tied at 27 all. So, we're either going to end this season tied, or you're not going to pick the Defenders. We'll see how this plays out.
Oh, man. We need a tiebreak, some convoluted tiebreaker like the league has, if we end up tied. We'll have to come up with something fun there.
Convoluted tiebreaker that we can't even figure out.
Yeah, exactly. Something where you just can't keep track of it, and then no one really knows. That's the best. Yeah. Before we pick this game, let's talk about the very tiny elephant in the room. The XFL honors. They revealed an all-XFL team. They revealed an offensive and a defensive player and a special teams player and a coach of the year, and I don't like most of it. This seems like, a DC Defenders celebratory event and not a league celebratory event, because they simply gave it to the respective position of the team that has the most wins, irregardless of whether they were actually the best at that position or not. But what do you think?
I don't mind Mr. XFL being the MVP here. Jordan Ta'amu, of course. I know you wanted AJ McCarron to win this. No doubt about it.
With nearly twice as many touchdowns? Yeah, you think so.
That was a bad game this past. It was a great game for the Defenders. They had that game wrapped up, but it was not the best statistically for Jordan Ta'amu in that game. And I do see where a lot of people are coming from, saying that he also had De'Aaron King basically playing backup to him all week, or playing fill-in whenever he was tired, so it was more of a 2-quarterback system, whereas McCarron did not have that. I do understand the argument for that, but I kind of planted my flag in the ground on Jordan Ta'amu a long time ago just to be opposite of you. So at this point, seeing Jordan Ta'amu win this, I don't mind. But like I said, I do understand the other arguments. This is absolutely a list full of DC Defenders. I'm looking through it right now. Cody Latimer won the tight end spot, which is absolutely deserved because there was only 2 eligible tight ends in this entire league that got any kind of receptions or anything at all. That made sense. Sal Cannella was probably second place there. Lucky Jackson, I agree with that. I love Lucky Jackson. Jacour Pearson made the wide receiver list, and Josh Gordon did not. That's kind of weird, but Hakeem Butler, that's your Battlehawks guy that made it in there. That works out pretty well. Who would you like to see in there that you did not see is the question.
AJ McCarron, best player in the league. 24 touchdown passes.
Okay, besides AJ McCarron, who else? Who else would you like to see?
That is really the most egregious one.
Yeah.
It's really hard to argue Josh Gordon because Jacour Pearson was the best the best receiver on that team. Now, of course, being the homer that I am, I will put Darius Shepard in there probably over Deontay Burnett. Because if you look at the receiving stats, it's all Sea Dragons and Battlehawks. And then there's Cody Latimer in there as a quarterback. I'll put I'll put Shepard in, but AJ McCarron is of course the by far the biggest snub. I mean, Abram Smith is not debatable. Cody Latimer is not debatable. Offensive line, small sample size, but looks fine to me.
Shepard did make it as the return specialist, though.
He did make it as a yeah.
Yeah, so
should have been there as a receiver.
Yeah, maybe so. I thought so too when I saw that, but I'm sure they were just trying to find another way to work a receiver in there.
That might be true. Yeah. Other than that, looks fine to me.
It
but,
is
weird.
Being the beginning of the season, I would not expected to see Drew Beasley in this spot and not Vic Beasley, which shows how far the NFL sacks leader has fallen over these years. That
it's crazy, right?
Yeah, he's not even on this list in the XFL, which is crazy. Yeah. I mean, coming out of Clemson,
it is Josh Gordon. That's another one.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, at least Hakeem Butler made it. I mean, his stats were undeniable this season, so he had to. But other than that, maybe they were staying away from NFL guys looking at this. I mean, all these guys have had some kind of stint in the NFL, but not prominent like Josh Gordon or even AJ McCarron.
Yeah, those are big names.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Yeah, well, not to waste too much time on it. McCarron's a snub. It's a disgrace. 24 touchdowns. Tom went 14. He subbed out most times in the red zone. Just the defenders won, and that's why they put him there. No good reason for it whatsoever. DiNucci has a better argument than McCarron in this than Tomu in this spot, and of course McCarron should have been it. But what do I get? It's only the XFL, right? Who cares what?
I do.
Who cares about the XFL?
I do kind of feel bad that the Battlehawks are getting stubbed. Now, they're not my favorite team, and I've been against them all season just because that's your team that you picked, and it's better for the show. But now thinking about it, I do kind of feel bad for Battlehawks fans. Like, they're the biggest fan base in the XFL, and they have been snubbed pretty much all season. And the defenders have gotten the right of way on everything. So,
because the league officials didn't know their tiebreaker well enough to rig the playoffs as intended. Yeah. St. Louis got kicked out. And now you're not even giving the best quarterback, the best player in the league, the recognition with the All XFL team. It's whatever. Let's get into this game.
Yeah.
Obviously, championship game, and obviously Defenders, Renegades. The most unlikely path here, probably the Renegades. Didn't really expect them to. They just struggled their way into the playoffs and only got in because the Southern Division was so bad, and they upset the favored Roughnecks to make it. Suddenly, they find themselves in the championship game. Who do you got?
Not only did they upset the Roughnecks, they dominated that entire game. The Roughnecks fell apart, and the Renegades finally put it all together. I kind of felt like the Renegades were holding back. In week 10 of the season, when they faced the Roughnecks, I felt like the Renegades were holding back because Bob Stoops knew they didn't have to win that game. And I mean, we've seen this play out in the NFL several times, to where the last game of the season, you got to face this team that you're in the division with, but you're going to face them again the next week right in the playoffs, and it usually turns the tides like that. I feel like Bob Stoops was taking it easy. Now, Luis Perez found his way in this game and played wonderful. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 289 yards, 19 for 27. That's the Luis Perez that we saw last season in the USFL. I think he's in a groove here. This is a great position for him to be in. The team is finally clicking. Davion Smith had 94 yards in this game. Brian Herrien had 24 yards. The running game is working great. Javonte Payton, Caleb Van Der Esch is back, and, of course, their dominant tight end, Sal Cannella. On the other side, though, the defenders, that's this XFL team. This is Team XFL right here. They want this team to win, so I really expect them to win. Even if the Renegades play better, I expect the defenders to win this game. I mean, there's not much more I can say about the defenders. They are that good. Maybe they're not the best in the league, but they are definitely pushed like the best team in the league. And I fully expect them to win this game, having home field advantage.
Yeah, I mean, they are the best team in the league all around. I think it's fair to say after dismantling Dragons like that. I think of course the Battlehawks would have put up a much bigger fight than that, and it would have been up for grabs. But I think it's fair to say, given the record, the Defenders have been the best team all season, and I will pick them as well to win the game because I have to be realistic. We're tied in predictions. If we weren't tied and I had more space to play with here, I would probably like to pick the Renegades just because I want the Renegades to really win. But it's not looking too good for that. I'm gonna say Defenders get it done, but who knows? I mean, the Renegades have just upset the Roughnecks. And I liked your Luis Perez comment. Remember, he opened the season week 1 throwing touchdown passes to the Renegades too.
Yeah, that's true.
It all comes back, right? It all comes back. So
hey, nothing
maybe
worked out
he can
with the
close
Vipers,
it.
though. The Vipers are absolutely the worst team in the league. He did not belong on that team, and they did not earn my fanship this year. So I think I'll be picking a new team next season.
Oh, you're picking a new team? Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the USFL video in a few minutes where you're going to be picking a new team as well, I presume.
Yeah, spoiler alert, I'll be picking a new team there also.
Yeah, about time. I thought so. Just get off early if you can. Absolutely. Okay, so we both have the Defenders. Very little surprise. But let us know what you think about this one as well. If anyone wants to pick Arlington, good reason why, please. And I will be sitting there rooting for the Renegades for sure. But I'm not really fully believing it just yet. But let us know what you think about this one. Do you have anything to add for the XFL, Smokey?
I think that, well, I will say, I kind of want to see the Renegades win this also. Like, I know, I fully expect the Defenders to win. They are Team XFL. But I think I would like to see the Renegades win. Don't expect it, just hope for it. That'll be it.
Who wouldn't? I think almost everyone would like to see the Renegades win. Mm-hmm. This one. Let's hope for the best. Thank you for watching. And USFL video, by the way, coming up right after this one as well on the same channel for, what's week 5 already? Yeah, week 5 of the USFL. You can go check that out. Where Smokey will pick his new team, maybe, given how the Stars are doing right now. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Deuces.